Welcome back to another episode in our Parramatta Career Mode series. We are in round number 9 and we are coming into today's game losing a tight one to the Panthers. Before we jump into today's game, we have got a couple of lineup changes to address. So first of all, Clint Gutherson has been suspended for 2 matches. I think it was a dangerous high tackle or something like that. So filling in for Gutho, I've moved French from wing to fullback, and I've brought in the Fijian winger Maika Sivo. One thing I've mentioned in the past about this Parramatta team that I like is that we've got some pretty decent depth, and we have some good players in reserve grade that could easily fill in for our first grade team. The other change I've made was bringing in a utility on the bench. Last week I had all forwards on the interchange bench and we suffered severely for that. So we're welcoming back Will Smith to kind of relieve Reed Mani in case he gets way too fatigued. If you've played this game as much as I do, you know that fatigue really does play a factor. There's even been games when I've had to sub out a couple of backs. Well, it's mainly just the fullbacks. I think it's just a bug that hasn't been addressed. But yeah, anyway, our opponents for today are the North Queensland Cowboys, who are sitting pretty at the top of the comp, undefeated so far with 8 wins and no losses. First run of the game comes by way of Manu Mao. Fends off one defender before eventually getting wrapped up by 2. On the second tackle here, we send it to Alvaro and he just runs straight through 2 defenders, a big bump on their fullback. And Jordan McLean ends up clipping Alvaro a tad bit higher, giving away the first penalty of the match. So that puts us in a decent position here as we try to string together a nice play. We try a little inside ball, but it's well read by the defense. A decent setup to the right. We go out the back to Moses. Moses goes out the back to Takairangi, but it's well read once again, and we get tackled for a loss. On the third, back to Moses, linking up with Brown. A beautiful flat ball. We had the overlap, but we're unable to get that pass off. On the fourth, as we send it back to Brown, I tried slotting it in behind the line, and we end up giving a penalty away for being offside off that kick. One thing I've tried to work on is my short-range kicking game, as they set up a beautiful inside ball play. Kahu stepping around 2 defenders. Brilliant footwork by the fullback. As they send it to Morgan, who throws a pretty late pass that gets intercepted. And we get in another decent position, I guess, as we work towards that try line. We get pulled down just outside their 30. On the second tackle, we send it to Moses. Moses to Nukore with a beautiful drawing pass. It puts Jennings through, and Jennings with another drawing pass puts Sivo away for his first try of the NRL season. And I think it's his debut this season. Not too sure if I used him earlier. Maybe in the 9s, I can't quite remember, but Sivo gets us on the scoreboard. "24 minutes in. We are outside our 30 here as we send it to Moses, and he just attacks the line, gets around 1 defender, and he gets dragged to ground, and the Cowboys give away another penalty here. This time it's for being held in the tackle too long. Pretty uncharacteristic, I must say, by the AI to give away 2 penalties in the first half. You used to be able to cheese that held in tackle back in Rugby League Live 3. I'm actually glad they got rid of it as we send a flat ball out to Maika Sivo, and he's wrapped up well in a 1-on-1 tackle. Fifth and last, we've got Dylan Brown running from the blind to the open side, puts in a crossfield kick, and it's going to be Bevan French on the receiving end of a pretty decent kick, I must say. It's been a while since I've used that Cooper Cronk style flat crossfield kick. As we take another look on the replay in the top right hand corner. That was a beauty of a kick. As we proceed through the match, 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. With Reed Mani here as we try and exploit the short side. A nice drawing pass to Fergo. Fergo cuts back inside Jordan Kahu. And we get rid of it here before getting driven into touch. Beautiful play by our hooker, our young hooker Reed Marnie, as Moses sends it wide, links up with Brown. Our attack at the moment, once we get a bit of momentum, we're pretty hard to stop. As they set up to the left, we send it to Brown. Brown links up with Sivo, and Sivo's going to take the tackle. Inside the 20, fifth and last. With 2 minutes remaining in the half, we try a bomb this time. Sending it to the skies, Bevan French running onto it, and Bevan French comes down with it for his second try of the match on the back of another Dylan Brown kick. I wasn't really expecting to use the left side as much as I have this match so far, but it's actually turned out quite good for us. Dylan Brown coming up with some clutch kicks, and Bevan French showing his versatility in the back line. Back in the second half here. We are 5 minutes in, getting ready to receive off the fifth and last from the Cowboys, and we are starting the set 5 meters out from our try line. As we play off the short side, and it's going to be Kane Evans getting driven backwards in the tackle. Takairangi in at dummy half. A nice fend from Fergo, and again that little cutback. We kind of cheesed it to break the line. As we get run down here, and we're going to get pulled up inside the 20. We have an overlap on the right as Kane Evans draws and passes to Takairangi, and Takairangi doesn't even have to get it out to Fergo as we got ourselves to cross for our fourth try of the game. So much for the undefeated Cowboys. Haven't put up a fight so far as we managed to nail that tough conversion on the sideline, and we are going to extend our lead to 22 points. 54 minutes in, and we are in possession here. Second tackle, Mitchell Moses with the sidestep, and he gets pulled down inside the 20. On the second, we're going to chuck it back to this left side as Will Smith gets it out to Nakore. Dylan Brown on the wrap, and it's going to be a fend from Sivo. An early dive I thought for sure was a knock on. They send it up to the video ref to review the grounding. And as you can see here, we fall well short of the line. I actually skipped through the rest of the video ref replay, expecting a no try, and we actually ended up getting green lights. I do have a replay of it though, and it looks like McDonald it is, that knocks it backwards. It rolls past the try line, and Michael Jennings is there to swoop on it. It actually ends up being a little glitch in the game. As you can see, we get the 2 points for the conversion, but we don't get the 4 for the try. To be honest, we shouldn't have got the 4 points anyway. Clearly it rolled forward out of their hands as he tried to ground it. As the Cowboys here, looking for some consolation points. They definitely didn't perform like they're the top team in the league at the moment, and that's what I like about this game. You never know really. Some games you're on, some games you're off. For example, take this performance compared to our performance last game, where we just couldn't get anything going in attack. We couldn't break the line much. And yeah, it looks like the Cowboys are going through the same issues here as they creep closer to the try line. A nice run by Gavin Cooper, who stopped inside the 10 as they go short to Taumololo, and Taumololo links up with Hess, who gets rolled on his back. They still have one tackle up their sleeve. Can they cross for some consolation points? As Tamaida Martin sends it to the skies, it gets batted back to Jordan Kahu, and Kahu with the footwork as displayed earlier in the match. This time he ends up scoring on the back of it and gets the Cowboys their first points of the match as he tries to convert his own try into 6 points, unable to do so, and that's going to be full time here at 1300 Smile Stadium. We wrap up round 9 with a huge upset over the number 1 team in the league, defeating them 24 points to 4. So the people's choice might be a bit of a tough one this week. As always, if you want to participate, hit up that comment section with your top performance of the match. And if you made it this far into the video, also hit up that comment section with the hashtag OddSquad. Don't forget to slap that like button for more Rugby League Live 4 content or more content in general. And as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you later.